There was once a name that emerged and sent multiple shockwaves through the whole baseball world, and it was none other than legendary Mariano Rivera. Whenever Mo stepped onto the field, it was like the arrival of an unstoppable force of nature, and victory often seemed inevitable. Even Joe Torre admitted that this player was the most astonishing revelation he had ever encountered. Plus, to the fans, he was more than just a pitcher. He was the Sandman, the Great One, and the Hammer of God. Every soul in the ballpark anticipated what was going to come whenever Mariano Rivera stepped up to the mound, and it was often a unique pitch, simple yet devastating. Moreover, Mo's cut fastball often defied all doubts. It was like trying to hit an 85-mile-per-hour meteor, a precision hurricane that left even the mightiest hitters feeling like small leaguers. Little wonder it is still arguably the greatest in baseball's history. Now guess what? This video is going to dive deep into the life and achievements of this absolutely fantastic player. We will explore the untold story of how this man became an MLB legend. So come along, folks, you definitely want to hear this exciting and suspense-filled story. Mariano was born in the heart of Panama City on a November day in 1969, and he always had a great passion for soccer and baseball, right from the start. This little dreamer would run and play on the beach with his friends during low tide. However, it was clear to everyone around him that soccer held a special place in his heart, with the soccer legend Pelé as his hero and inspiration. Of course, baseball was a beloved hobby too, though he never really considered it a potential profession. But then, at the tender age of 18, Mariano was already playing with the Panama Oeste Vaqueros, which was a local amateur baseball team. And even though he wasn't the star player at this point, he was still a utility guy doing whatever the team needed. Well, as fate would have it, Panama Oeste's pitcher faltered in a playoff game barely 1 year later, and Mariano was asked to step in despite having no experience in the position. To everyone's surprise, he delivered an impressive performance on the mound. Instantly, his teammates Claudino Hernandez and Emilio Gaez recognized something special in him. As if being pushed by fate, they reached out to Chico Herrán, who was a scout for the New York Yankees, and within 2 weeks of his pitching debut, Mo was invited to a Yankees tryout camp in Panama City. Plus, to make the story even more interesting, Herb Rayborn, the Yankees director of Latin American operations, who had returned to Panama for scouting, received a tip about this young talent who had just switched positions. Despite having no formal training as a pitcher, weighing in at a modest 155 pounds and throwing a seemingly average speed of 85 to 87 miles per hour, Mariano's athleticism and effortless pitching motion quickly made quite the impression on Rayborn. This scout saw Mo as a raw diamond, a talent waiting to be honed. And well, that was exactly what he planned on doing. On February 17, 1990, he made a move for the young talent, and this would kick off the start of a truly exceptional career. Mariano signed his first contract with the New York Yankees as an amateur free agent, and his signing bonus of $2,500 was the humble beginning of a journey that would go on to make him one of the most iconic figures in Major League Baseball today. Leaving behind his homeland, where he spoke no English and having never ventured far from his home, this young and hopeful player boarded a plane bound for the United States. His destination? The Gulf Coast League Yankees, which was a rookie-level minor league affiliate of the New York Yankees. In those early days, scouts regarded Mariano as, at best, a fringe prospect, but he was determined to prove them wrong, and boy, did he do more than that. Well, Mariano continued his ascent, joining the Class A advanced level Fort Lauderdale Yankees of the Florida State League. However, the season didn't begin smoothly for the eager youth, especially as elbow stiffness sidelined him for the first part of the year. But then, he still managed to start 10 games for Fort Lauderdale, amassing a 5-3 record and a 2.28 ERA while walking a mere 5 batters in 59 1/3 innings pitched. By the dawn of the 1995 season, Mariano was already being considered the 9th best prospect in the Yankees organization by Baseball America. Additionally, this was the year he started to refine his pitching repertoire, primarily consisting of fastballs, with a slider and changeup as secondary pitches. He began the season with Columbus, posting a 1-1 record and a 1.50 ERA in 4 starts. Indeed, the stats were impressive. The journey was just beginning, and Mariano was inching closer to realizing his dream of becoming a major league player. The year was 1995 when Mariano's journey to the major leagues took an unexpected turn. It so happened that injuries to key Yankee starting pitchers created an opportunity for him. On May 23rd, he found himself on the mound as a starter against the California Angels. Unfortunately, that day didn't go as planned, as he gave up 5 runs and took the loss. What followed was a daunting headline from Jack Curry of the New York Times, who labeled it another shabby outing by another young pitcher. Surely this was a heavy burden for a 25-year-old newcomer to carry. However, the determined player returned later in the season, hoping to prove himself. This time, he pitched a shutout against the Chicago White Sox, striking out 11 batters. And by the end of the 1995 season, the wiry 6'2" Mariano found himself in the bullpen, where he would play a pivotal role in the Yankees' postseason run. Mariano was called upon in a crucial moment during Game 2 of the ALDS against the Seattle Mariners. It was the top of the 12th inning. The Yankees were trailing by a run, and there was a runner on base. Luckily, Mo entered the game to make a difference, striking out J.P. Winner and throwing 3 1/3 shutout innings. This performance earned him his first postseason win, setting the stage for Jim Leyritz's dramatic 15th inning home run to secure the victory. The rising star enjoyed a breakout season in 1996, earning his first All-Star selection. He finished the year with an impressive 2.09 ERA and a 2.40 ERA+, indicating he was almost 2.5 times more valuable than an average big league pitcher that season. He even went on a remarkable streak, pitching 26 consecutive scoreless innings, including 15 consecutive hitless innings. In the end, his exceptional performance led to him finishing third in the American League Cy Young Award voting. However, the pinnacle of the season came with the Yankees finally winning the World Series, which was their first since 1978. Of course, Mariano played a significant role in this win, pitching 5 2/3 innings in the 6-game series against the Atlanta Braves with a minuscule 1.59 ERA. Indeed, it was a taste of success, and it was just the beginning for both the burgeoning Yankees dynasty and the man who would go on to become the greatest closer the game had ever seen. In 1997, after John Wetland departed via free agency, the closing job fell squarely on Mariano's shoulders. Well, it wasn't a smooth start, as he faltered, blowing 3 of his first 6 save chances. He would even later confess that he felt uncomfortable in the role. Now, here's where the story gets even more interesting. The most significant moment in Mariano's career, one that would reshape the history of the game, occurred on June 23, 1997 at Detroit's Tiger Stadium. The player was in the bullpen, casually warming up with his teammate Ramiro Mendoza, when something extraordinary happened. They decided to try out a new weapon, and it was Mariano's right arm. The two pitchers realized that Mariano's fastball was doing something unusual, cutting sharply about a foot from left to right. Of course, Mendoza couldn't catch it, and they worried about the potential for injury if he tried. So they handed the ball over to bullpen catcher Mike Borzello. But here's the twist. Even Borzello struggled to catch the pitch, which Mariano claimed he was throwing like any other fastball. Well, obviously, that ordinary-sounding fastball had vanished, replaced by something extraordinary. A cutter that refused to stay still, even when Mariano tried to make it. This pitch would become Mariano's signature, and with it, he dominated hitters like no other pitch in the game's history. Mariano worked tirelessly with Yankees pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre to refine his newfound weapon. He would learn to control the pitch precisely through subtle grip and finger pressure changes. He could place that cutter wherever he wanted it to explode, away from right-handed hitters or dart in on the lefties, ultimately leaving them helpless. Plus, with a 6 to 8 inch movement off the plate at the very last moment, batters found themselves only mid-swing by the time the ball reached them. It was a tool unlike any other in the history of Major League Baseball, a weapon that made fools out of even the most seasoned hitters. Going forward, Mariano unleashed this newfound mastery of the cutter during the second half of the 1997 season, and the results were nothing short of astonishing. He racked up an impressive 43 saves with an impressive 1.88 ERA and another ERA plus of around 240. Plus, as he entered the game, the haunting strains of Metallica's Enter Sandman played, and Yankees fans everywhere were totally enthralled. Obviously, Mariano had become must-see television. Unfortunately, despite his brilliance, the Yankees couldn't defend their World Series title that year, falling to the Cleveland Indians in an ALDS. Plus, during a heartbreaking loss, Mariano gave up an uncharacteristic game-tying run to Sandy Alomar Jr. in extra innings. The devastated player took it to heart and vowed never to let it happen again. Well, true to his word, he embarked on a historic postseason run, going 23 games without allowing another run, and he ended up setting a record with 34 1/3 consecutive postseason scoreless innings. Now this is definitely the stuff of legends. In 1998, Mariano led the American League with 45 saves and maintained an ERA under 2 at 1.91. That year, he also won his first of 3 Rolaids Relief Man of the Year awards. Moreover, from July 21st onward, Mariano didn't allow a single earned run. The impressive star also played a vital role in defending the World Series title for his team by recording a win and 2 saves in the series, while pitching for 2/3 of an inning during the clinching game. Of course, this earned him the World Series Most Valuable Player that year. During the 1998 and 99 playoffs, no one managed to score a run off Mariano. Simply put, he was invincible. In 2002, this deserving legend seized the coveted title of the Yankees' all-time saves leader with his 225th career save, eclipsing the legendary Dave Righetti. But then, what followed was a roller coaster season marred by injuries, including a debilitating groin strain that thrust him onto the dreaded disabled list in the heart of the summer. The baseball star boasted a remarkable 1.47 ERA and 21 saves that year, earning him a revered all-star selection. Yet, on a fateful July night, he faced an unfortunate abyss, surrendering 6 earned runs which culminated in a walk-off grand slam that shook the baseball world. And just when it seemed like the storm had passed, a shoulder strain hurled him back into the tumultuous waters of the disabled list. As the 2003 season dawned, the Yankees hoped to protect their prized asset, but then a nagging groin injury threatened to rob Mariano Rivera of his glory. However, his return in late April marked the resurgence of a warrior, conquering 16 out of 17 save opportunities in the first half. Plus, a pivotal moment came on June 13th, when the outstanding player secured Roger Clemens' 300th career win. Mo would go on to play a few more seasons, dropping really impressive performances and cementing his place in the hearts of fans and all followers of the game until he retired in 2013. No doubt this player had a truly illustrious career, and it is only right that he is being recognized today as an absolute legend and Hall of Famer.